Are we live? We are live. We are live and in color. Hello, and welcome to Pizza and Pop Culture. Our second live broadcast brought to you on, well, right now we're live on Facebook, but if you're listening to us after the fact, you're at wherever they've archived it. This is Peter Bradley. We're here with Jude. And
Jason.
My brother.
And Jude's brother, Jason.
Yeah, in San Diego.
He's out in San Diego, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You're enjoying the plague a bit out there, are you?
Yeah. Actually, I would have been at Comic-Con right now if Comic-Con were there.
I know.
Kind of
about that a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of lucky. You can go there and not have to pay for a hotel or travel or anything.
The bennies of living in sunny San Diego.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's weird.
You don't miss it, brother. You could take a year off, right?
Yeah, no, I don't miss it. It's beautiful here. It's 80 degrees, 78 degrees. So it's nice and the nice breeze coming in.
Oh man, yeah, it is 86 and humid as hell out here in Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you've been going there every year to Comic-Con in San Diego for how long?
I've been going since I moved here in 2004. Not every year. Sometimes. Back in 2004, you used to be able to buy a ticket to the show the day of the show and just walk in with a ticket with your badge. But as of 2009, 2010, it started getting harder and harder to get badges. And then by 2012, I want to say it's nearly impossible to get a badge. So you had to go to a lottery by that time and try to get a badge with the multitude of masses trying for the badges at the same time. So I didn't get to go every year. Sometimes I get a badge, sometimes I wouldn't.
Yeah, I remember you'd also try to have me log in for you because you were busy with something, and you'd say, "Hey, can you log in just so I can try to get tickets?"
No, because group strength is in numbers. The more people that gather together that try for badges, the better chance you have of getting them. Because once you get in, if you pick in the lottery and you get into the room, you can apply for your badge. But if you have friends that are doing the same thing, once you got in, you'd be able to select how many people you wanted to buy for.
Right.
You could get a bunch of people. So,
yeah, it got really, really crazy. And I think they started doing some type of thing where they tried to eliminate scalpers. So I think there was a two process of getting tickets. You would get into the queue, and then eventually you'd have to wait in the queue, but that's not necessarily mean that you had access to a ticket, right?
That's correct.
So you could wait all day in a queue, and then eventually, if it filled up, you waited all day for nothing.
That's right. Well, no, you didn't wait all day. Comic-Con tickets usually sell out in about an hour and 15 minutes, pretty much.
Yeah.
Sometimes they would do a second lottery a couple months later because they would get an influx of new tickets, new badges. But yeah, you were pretty much SOL. You know, if you did get them, or you buy them on eBay, or you'd try to find a friend that was in the industry, because industry people get to go for industry badges for free. So.
And your friend, that's right. You have a friend that does motion capture.
Yeah. So I have a couple friends that are in the industry in LA.
So that's how you work it to your advantage. And I apologize. I apologize. I never had the chance to fly out there. Every time you invite me to go, and I'm always like, I'm not going. Well, this year, we're sort of going together. So, on that note,
free.
Yeah, it's free. That's right. So on that note, earlier we were watching the New Mutants channel, and it's interesting. I mean, I think it's a different direction they're kind of taking the X-Men universe. It's not part of the MCU, but it's associated with it in a way, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a closeout to the 20th Century Fox's X-Men franchise.
Right, which I didn't think would last this long. I thought eventually they would let go and just, but I guess they're holding on to it, right? Is that the idea?
Well, it's been made, and so if they don't do anything with it, it's money it's money just sitting there. They can make money off of it any time.
Right. And it's been what, 2 years they shot this? 2 years ago?
I think 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah, they shot this thing, and then there were rumored reshoots, and then there weren't reshoots. It got delayed and coming out, and then Disney bought 20th Century Fox and delayed it even more. And then there was the whole back and forth as to what are they going to do because of the MCU now. So like I said, they're just sitting there with a movie that's made. If they don't release it in any capacity, that's money that they've wasted. And Disney is so hurting for money right now, they are not going to waste a penny. But speaking of the New Mutants, you got it queued up here. I guess they got the first 10 minutes followed by a trailer of the movie. Now, I have not seen this. I was on the phone all day today, so I missed a lot of Comic-Con, the announcements and so on. So I'll be kind of winging this, making this up as we go along. But
it's also kind of hard for us.
I would be very interested in seeing it.
Yeah. But the time difference throws us off. Like right now, what? It's 3 o'clock in San Diego?
Yeah.
3:36.
What time is it?
3:36.
Yeah. Okay. So I will play this, and then
and I will give my live reactions.
And I gotta check on my dinner.
I gotta say, it feels weird not to have that 20th Century Fox, but we're not keeping Fox News and all that other stuff, so I can see why they changed it. So we're watching the first 10 minutes of New Mutants.
There's an old Native American proverb that says, inside every person there are 2 bears, forever locked in combat for your soul. One bear is all things good, compassion, love, trust. The other is all things evil, fear, shame, and self-destruction.
We're starting the movie off with a bang here.
What's happening?
Hide here.
Stop, please. Leave me alone.
I have to go back. Stay here.
So far, not off to a bad start.
You got knocked the hell out! I think that's Arya's character.
Okay, we're not off to a bad start. This is certainly different than any of the other X-Men movies, but I guess they're playing this more like a horror movie.
Yeah,
Exactly.
It's an interesting take.
If you're in here, could be in prison or worse.
I mean, we're into the trailer proper.
You're dangerous.
We know.
this place. It's your greatest fear. And this is the fear. Scary.
What are you doing?
Gotta get rid of someday. Even there! Let's play a game.
Well, so far it doesn't look terrible. I mean, it doesn't look overly great. I mean, it's lots of CGI furniture. I mean, it definitely looks different than your standard X-Men movie, and it could be a good way to handle it as a horror movie. I mean, it doesn't look terrible.
No, I mean, it's a little glossy for my taste, but I mean, we'll see. I just, I get excited about these movies sometimes, but and then all of a sudden it's like, I don't know. Baxter.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to put any money on it being good, but it certainly doesn't look terrible. I mean, but then again, making a bad movie look good in a trailer is kind of an art form. And Exhibit A, I give you the Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or Dark Phoenix. Yeah, Dark Phoenix.
Get excited.
So what?
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw. I didn't see the Dark Phoenix. Was it
No,
good?
No, it was one of the worst reviewed X-Men movies ever.
Really?
So badly reviled, that most people didn't go to see it because of the reviews were so atrocious. The trailer was good though, you see. So you're right. Advertising in the trailer could, hype you up. So
also, it's like watching the DC universe. I mean, a lot of times the trailers can look really good. I mean, I like Suicide Squad. I didn't think it was a terrible movie. I know a lot of people disagree. The trailer, when it first came out, I saw it on my birthday, actually 3 years ago. And I actually went on my birthday. It was like my birthday thing. And I was actually visiting my parents in South Carolina. And I went to the theater by myself. And I enjoyed it, but it's the same concept. They don't really hit. If you keep watching these movies, with the exception, I think, of Wonder Woman, and they don't hit a home run, then you keep kind of have low expectations every single time one comes out. And I think this is kind of how this trend has been going with Fox, right? I mean, Dark Phoenix, New Mutants.
I don't, but I like.
Going to survive.
I like the fact that I like the fact that they're exploring the horror genre and that they're melding it with superhero movies. I think this is it's a good concept. It's based on a comic from Chris Claremont and Bill Sienkiewicz from the 80s called the Demon Bear Saga. And so the material that they're drawing from is very good, is very solid. So if they stick to the storyline and they're able to translate that adaptation well, it could be a good movie. So it depends on how true they stay to the source material. I mean, I know they're taking liberties, but I'm willing to give it a chance.
All right.
Yeah, same here. I would probably wait for word of mouth reviews to probably put the final nail in the coffin whether or not I'd go see it. But yeah, I'd be willing to give it a chance.
Well,
now,
the cast is great,
Yeah.
I mean, the casting is good, but the thing is that what other superhero movies are coming around the same time this is being released, right? Is there anything? I mean, I can't think of any other superhero movie, right? Is the MCU doing anything?
No, that's all postponed.
What's that?
I think. When does it come out? I don't even know.
I'm assuming if they're dropping all this now, and they say it looks like the movie's pretty much complete. I think when we watched the panel, he said it's pretty much complete. That means it's probably going to come out. Well, I'm going to look it up, but it looks like it's going to come out more recent, before the year's over.
It was supposed to be released on April 3rd.
Well, I don't even know how you release movies now, whether or not you release them in theaters or you release them online. You know what I mean?
It's probably going to be more like, oh, it hits theaters on August 28th.
Of this year?
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we'll try to hit it in theaters, eh?
Now
Nah,
that-
it won't go to theaters.
Hey, you're joined now by Keith. Shitty
Came
meat
out of
himself.
field.
No,
What?
you're shitty chicken.
I'm shitty chicken.
Shitty chicken.
You missed the trailer.
No, I was watching it while I was scarfing down a hamburger because I pulled over. I think it looks pretty good.
You don't think it looks too WB-ish, slightly?
Oh no, it totally looks like something off the CW. But I like the fact that it's tonal, it's different in tone, and I'll take different. It actually looks like a Blumhouse kind of a thing, but you know, I just, you know what? I'm tired of sitting here and going, that sucks. This sucks. What happened to that? Why'd they ruin this? I'm trying to be optimistic here.
Well, that's what really good thing. I mean, you know, it's the run. If the movie didn't do that well, and I didn't see Dark Phoenix. My brother said he did, but
What was that?
Dark Phoenix, the last movie?
Oh, it's terrible.
Oh, I didn't.
I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it? I thought you said you saw it.
No,
Don't.
No. The reviews were so atrocious that I said I can't see this in good. You know, I can't see this.
I'll put it this way, Jason. If you thought X3 was bad, that looks like Citizen Kane compared to this thing.
Did you see it in the
I
theater?
shit you not. What's that?
Did you see it in the theater?
Oh God, no! I saw it on an airplane. But worse, and you're gonna hate me for this, but I'm a completist, so I had to buy it on Blu-ray because I have to have them all. But I got it on Black Friday for $2.99. So.
All right. We
Goes to show you the quality.
Watch it. That's the question.
You're kind of muffled, Jude. It's hard to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, you're wearing a mic last night.
Well, let me see
Wear a mic. Wear a mic.
Where did I put it?
Everybody else is nice and clear, but you're all muddy.
So I just suck right now. Okay. Hold on. I gotta look at my head.
Very booming.
So, do you guys just start with the New Mutants thing?
Yeah, we just started with a new music. I got IGN all called up here so that we can dive into some of the news here.
Yeah, or go to Bounding Into Comics. They have all the good headlines too. Yeah, I won't be on long because I'm driving and it's my daughter's birthday. So.
Well, we don't have to go too long tonight because we're gonna be back tomorrow night anyway, right?
Yes, we are. I think Mr. Amenta is hopping on with us tomorrow night.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Pinto Comics.
Pinto Comics.
And if you don't listen to Pinto Comics, you should.
Oh yeah, I love that show.
Good things about it.
Brother, what
So
podcast?
did anybody watch this? What's that?
I was gonna ask my brother what podcast he listens to in San Diego.
Oh,
Word Balloon. Oh, John Suntress is a really good one. It's a comic book interview show where he gets.
Oh,
together
yeah.
with, yeah. Have you heard of this one?
Word Balloon.
Word Balloon.
yeah.
Awesome. Some in-depth conversations with some great creators.
Yeah. John's good. Yeah, John's very good.
Sorry,
John
you guys
Suntress.
should-
He's
you guys
very
should-
knowledgeable. He's very knowledgeable.
So what do you got, a zoo there, Jude?
You can't hear me?
I know, I hear dogs and cats and
Yeah, we hear the background, not you.
You don't hear me?
You sound terrible. You're all garbled.
Well, talk amongst yourselves. I'll figure this out.
Yeah, you might have to mute yourself
All
and
right,
reset your
well-
settings or something. Who's got the barking
But,
dog?
That's me.
Oh my God.
here at the ASPCA,
Yeah, right.
Q Sarah McLaughlin.
So I just I was listening to the Boys panel on my way down the freeway here.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have to watch that. Is anybody watching that?
Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
You know, I did you see the scene? I actually saw the scene of it. I shouldn't have been looking down, but you know, I'll cop to it. The scene where from the season 2 there, where they smash into the whale on the boat.
I haven't seen anything of season 2 yet. So after this, I'll probably go and watch that panel.
The scene. Yeah, and what was impressive is they did it all practically. They really whale and they smashed into it.
Oh.
No CGI. Yeah, that's
awesome.
kind of, yeah.
That's impressive.
Just hearing that sold me. Like, all right, that's cool. I'll watch it because of that.
I know this is hearsay, but I think the show is better than the comic. And you know, Garth Ennis is a great writer, but yeah, I really do. I think the show explores the characters in more detail, fleshes out the story a lot better than the comic does. And I don't say that very often, but in this case, I think the show is superior. It really is done very, very well. I won't spoil anything from season 1, but definitely watch it.
Yeah, I know my friends Jackie and Colin really like it.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, that's
I think I'm gonna have to. What are there? 8 episodes or? Oh, you're way better.
I think about 10 episodes or so. It's a deconstructionist take on superheroes.
How many?
I can't remember. It was a year ago that I watched it. Now,
right?
I want to say 8 or 10 episodes. It's not that many. You can kill it in about a weekend or so if you binge. But it's phenomenal. It's a Watchmen-esque take on superheroes. Yeah.
Right, that's what I hear. They're basically anti-heroes.
Yeah,
and
yeah, they're anti-heroes.
And they don't even know it. Their egos are so big that they think that they're doing good for everything, and they're really not, right?
No, they're subconsciously evil. Some of them, I want to say, some of them think that they are contributing to the greater good, but a lot of them are. No, this is who I am. I'm just an evil scumbag superhero. Getting paid lots of money for. Getting paid lots of money for, you know.
Megalomaniacs, very much. But
they're like narcissists, right?
Yeah, it's a good take on superheroes, and they took a lot of those ideas. I mean, some of the scenes are ripped directly from the comic. So as you're watching it, you're like, oh yeah, that's this scene. So, and I love the comic. I just think that the show is taking it to a higher level.
So it's very comic accurate.
Yeah, I mean they are.
I was just.
They are deep. But
I was just so impressed that they said that was all practical, done in camera, versus CGI. CGI sometimes takes you out of it. And I'm watching it on my phone as I'm driving, and to see when they hit the, I was like, whoa! It looked awesome, and I'm watching a little 1-inch screen, thumbnail. So, yeah. How about the Star Trek? Did anybody watch the Star Trek stuff?
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. Because you and I talked off air earlier today, and you definitely have an opinion on this new Star Trek panel.
Is this the Picard one, or is this just a panel?
I didn't. Well, I guess they did a whole bunch of stuff. I caught the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes, and that's all I needed to see. I was not happy. I've had my theories over the years that the people in charge of Star Trek don't know anything about it, and what they do is they watch a movie or two, and they think they have a handle on the whole culture of Star Trek, and they kind of proved it today. The guy was talking about the cartoon Lower Decks, and he said, "Oh well, we have a funny callback for Star Trek fans. We have Romulan whiskey in our show, and we saw Romulan ale in one of the movies, so that's what gave us the idea." And right there, they watched Wrath of Khan. Romulan ale is mentioned, and they don't realize that it's been mentioned in about 50 episodes or more. Romulan ale is common. They think they found an Easter egg, and right there, that tells you they don't fucking know what they're dealing with. They're idiots. They watch the movie or they watch us, and then he goes, because Star Trek's always been about comedy. They did Trouble with Tribbles, and it was hilarious. And then there's another one on Deep Space Nine where Captain Sisko plays baseball against the Vulcans. Oh, it's hilarious. Holy crap. They just don't know what they're doing. They don't realize that those episodes are funny because the characters are acting antithetical to how they would normally act in certain situations. Or that Captain Sisko is a huge baseball fan, but baseball is gone in the 24th century, and he just wants to see a live baseball game, so he has a game on the holodeck. Like, they don't understand what they're dealing with, and they admitted it in about 4 minutes.
Did you listen?
And
to
they
the
also
whole panel?
announced. No, I said just the first 3 minutes and the last 3 minutes.
That was it, right? You were like, I'm done.
Well, no, because I was busy. I had to pick up Doug from the hospital, and I had to load up the car with gear and run it. So it's just they announced another animated show today too for little kids on Nickelodeon.
Yep, I've got the summary of it in case you missed it.
But what bothered me about that is the guy said, "Now we've checked all the what do you say? All the demographic boxes. We've checked all the boxes now." Like that sounds like something a corporate person says. Oh, we checked all the boxes. Holy shit! Like Star Trek's done, guys. I'm sorry, Star Trek is fucking dead, gone. Bury it.
We had that conversation yesterday. Where can they go from here? What can they possibly do?
Well,
they have to sell it to somebody who knows what they're doing with it, who respects it for the property that it is. These guys are fucking hack assholes. They're ruining it.
Well, you're telling me that a group of lawless teens who discover a derelict Starfleet ship and use it to search for adventure, meaning, and salvation doesn't float your boat? That's not your cup of Earl Grey?
Wait a minute. Wait. Are you reading me Young Guardians of the Galaxy or Star Trek?
Star Trek Prodigy.
Oh, God. Is that the name of it?
Series.
It sounds... Oh, because you could have fooled me. Sounds to me like Young Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yep.
Is it the Botany Bay? Botany Bay?
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Kevin and
They're going to find the Botany
Hadgeman? Kevin and Dan Hadgeman? H-A-G-M-A-N. They wrote for Troll Hunters, the Lego Movie, and Lego's Ninjago. So that kind of gives you the idea of the tone that that's probably going to have.
So basically,
it's another fall down comedy Star Trek cartoon.
So basically, it's like Lost in Space.
No, it's worse. It's like Pirates in Space. It's like Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's a bunch of kids having adventures on a derelict ship.
Oh my God! This is the second time it's on Nickelodeon for little kids.
So that's the route they're going.
That's the route well, of course they're going animation because they can get that done now at home.
Right.
They can't shoot any live action, so. Oh my God! Take Star Trek and make it. Star Trek was always known for intelligence and problem solving and so many things, scientific reasoning, and now they're just dumbing it down to any general audience to suck them in and sell them something. Oh, it's terrible.
Even with the Picard show, because I haven't seen it.
Oh God!
Oh, it's a piece of shit.
If you like Picard from Next Generation, you are going to hate this.
It's a different character. It's not even him. It's awful. It's all, and again, it's Guardians of the Galaxy. He's on a pirate ship with a bunch of misfits. Yeah,
it's not hopeful. It brings in class warfare, and it brings in it's incredibly violent. Like one character from Star Trek Voyager shows up, and he's getting first time you see him since Voyager, he's getting his eyeball ripped out of his skull.
Star Trek.
in graphic detail while he's screaming the whole time. And then after they take his eyeball out, they shoot him in the head, right? Like
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
So it retains none of the
it's violent. It brings in things that are normally taken care of. Like there's no money in the future. That's pounded into our skulls since the 60s. There's no money in the future. Well, you're Picard. You're rich, and you live on a huge mansion. I live in a trailer, and I'm poor.
Yeah,
but there's no money in the future. This shouldn't exist.
Right.
It's not explained.
Yeah. Jason, if you want to get an overall feel for all 10 episodes, watch the Red Letter Media review of it for an hour and a half. That's all you need to see.
Yeah, in the ending.
Okay, write that down.
And what happens with Picard is even more insulting at the end.
Yeah, the
Really?
one ends up.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It's Alex Kurtzman's his go-to trope. His go-to trope is kill somebody and bring them immediately back to life.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
not very well done.
So you said you guys did say watch the first episode, which I haven't watched any of them, but I'm tempted just to watch the first episode because you guys said it wasn't that bad.
I was actually optimistic after the first episode.
Yeah, the first episode really brings you in, really hooks you in, but
By the third one, I knew I was watching a piece of shit. And after the fourth one, I canceled my subscription.
What was it?
I didn't even finish it. It was terrible.
What was it on?
It was on CBS All Access.
Right, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
it's bad.
How does Discovery fit into this? Because I haven't seen that either.
That's just a piece of crap too.
I saw the first 10 minutes of it and I checked out.
I actually made it through 3 whole episodes and I went, this is not Star Trek. This is like a violent, generic science fiction show called Star Trek. It's just nowhere close, you know? Yeah.
But Discovery's supposed to take place like 10 years before the original series. So it takes place between Enterprise and the classic series.
Right.
It doesn't look like it because everything's got holographic displays and it's all, there's androids, there's all sorts of things that shouldn't be there.
Right.
Even when they at one point even bring in the Enterprise and it looks so technologically advanced, it isn't even funny. Like they really into their set, but
it's fun. It's funny you bring that up, Pete, because remember last night we were saying why would they pigeonhole themselves by putting it in that space of time?
Yep.
And then it dawned on me today. That's exactly why. Because they knew they're not clever enough to write a series on their own, something new and original. So by putting it in that time frame, they knew if they got into trouble or if it started to tank, all they have to do is fly the freaking Enterprise in with either Kirk and Spock or in this case Pike and Spock, and then all the fanboys will wet their fucking pants. It was a safety valve. Putting it in that time frame was nothing but a safety valve.
Of course.
Because of their absolute gross incompetence. Fuck you, Alex Kurtzman, you fucking hack.
We're not fans. Not all of us are fans of Star Trek anymore here at Pizza Pop Culture.
I'm so pissed. It's ruined. It's ruined.
Fuck you, Rick Berman.
Star Trek's like my favorite thing. Yeah, no, I love Star Trek, and he fucking ruined.
Yeah, we'll take
Fuck you, Rick Berman.
Yeah, I hated the J.J. Abrams movies. I couldn't stand them.
Oh.
I didn't like what
we have a big thing about J.J. Abrams, and we can go on and on about him.
Jar Jar Abrams. Yeah.
The man that can't finish any project, he starts a project and just hands it off to somebody. I have a great idea here. Oh, you finish it. You could tell a story.
Telling a story because he doesn't know how to tell a story. He can't tell stories.
No,
much less an ending.
You can't. And they're so.
It's funny. We used to make fun of Michael Bay. At least Michael Bay can tell a story like to a point.
Yeah.
Jar Jar, man, holy shit. Yeah.
No, he can't finish any movie.
I don't know.
He kind of reminds me of
he can't.
He doesn't. There is nobody that reminds me of, but who's that guy that did the M. Shyamalan? What was his name?
M. Night Shyamalan.
M. Night Shyamalan. He always had great ideas for movies. Like what was that movie he did, The Village, which I loved until the end. And a lot of his movies were like that. They were great concepts, and then all of a sudden, as the movie progressed towards the end, it was like, what the fuck? Like, this is horrible. Besides, of course, the Bruce Willis movie. That was probably his best, but the rest of them fell flat.
Which one?
The one
Unbreakable?
The one where he sees dead people.
Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Sixth Sense.
That was the only one I think that he successfully completed without it turning into shit.
Well, he hadn't given
That
into
was his first movie.
Right.
That was his first movie. He hadn't given into his own ego yet. You can tell as the movies progress, he starts shoehorning himself into more and more of the movie. Like the Village being a great example, where it's the very clever "I'm a director" shot, where he's reflected in the door of the cabinet, and he proceeds to do a 20-minute rant on the entire history of the Village.
Right.
Yeah, and his ego just got so big and so big and so big, and he just couldn't outlive his own ego, or couldn't outperform his own ego.
Well, he casted himself in his own movies too, which I always thought was. I mean, I know Quentin Tarantino does that, but I don't think a director should cast himself in his own movies.
I think it's funny, Pete, that as you said, the bigger his ego got, the lower his box office got. It was like they had a opposite effect.
Exactly. And it took him what, 10 years, if not more, to finally become irrelevant. That he could have a hit with Split.
Yeah, people had given up on him. I thought he was like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
Well, I'm surprised JJ's lasted this long. So you must have some good friends in Hollywood.
He used to babysit Steven Spielberg's kids. He's got Spielberg's blessing. He's not going anywhere. That's how he got in the business.
Hollywood. He wrote regarding Henry. Yeah, he was a screenwriter.
No shit, I did not know that.
Yeah. He was a screenwriter. He wrote a script when he was in college, and that launched his career. And then he just worked his way up the ladder to producer.
You mean the movie with Harrison Ford, where he gets like correct. Amnesia?
That's correct. Yeah.
I didn't know he wrote that.
Hey, Jason, have you read the Spider-Man comic he just wrote with his son?
I've seen it on the racks, but I have not picked it up.
Yeah. I got through 2 issues, and I went, pass. Yeah, it's not good.
Hard pass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of thought so, because I heard very similar reviews to that, and I thought to myself, this is not good. I just think what he does is he appropriates elements from previous incarnations, previous stories. He dumbs them down. He's done this with Star Wars. He's done it with Star Trek. With the Khan, situation with the second movie, Into Darkness, or whatever that movie was called. He just takes these wonderful elements of the mythos and he just dumbs them down for the general populace. He makes them artificial, superficial, and they don't have any more resonance anymore. That's what I think he does.
I'm with you.
He's very good at it. Yeah.
Well, because he makes it pretty while he does it. You're mesmerized by the visuals.
Well, he uses
it's funny. South Park nailed him on that when they had an episode where they brought him in to rewrite the national anthem because the Kaepernick thing. It was about 5 years ago they did this, and they bring him in. And he basically gives them the same exact song. And they're like, "Oh my God, this is so much better!"
Well, we always know it's his movie because of the use of his lens flares. So he loves his lens flares.
Yeah.
And the shaking camera, the vibrating camera.
Yeah, he definitely has his tropes, which he uses over and over again. I don't know. I mean, he's got potential. Didn't he do that movie with the kids and
Oh God, we just talked about that. Super 8.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was like it was basically E.T. done over, just with a scarier alien.
A scary E.T. meets the South Park kids.
Yeah.
Those 4 kids were the South Park kids.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
They were.
No. I just said to your brother yesterday, I said, Jar Jar, he keeps making the same movie. He gives us the same movie over and over again. They're all the same.
They really are.
They're beat for beat. There's nothing different. They don't change in look or style or anything. They're just the same freaking shit.
Well, let's hope
it's a formula.
You're right. He's got that one, formula guy. Yep.
Yeah.
Let's hope he doesn't ruin it for you, Pete, and do the Nosferatu movie coming up, the remake.
Oh no, he's not. He's not, and that's speaking of New Mutants, Anna Taylor-Joy there is supposed to be in a remake of Nosferatu by the same director who did The Witch.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Oh, the Lighthouse guy? What's his name?
Yeah.
Robert Eggers?
Yes.
That's the one.
He's very good at atmospheric.
Yeah, visuals are going to be stunning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Witch was, I mean, The Witch is a out there movie, but the visuals and even the acting in it, it's just, you know you're going down a dark path when you watch that movie. You know things are not right. And you could feel it. It's the atmosphere weighs heavy on you. Did you see that movie?
Did you see The Lighthouse?
Oh, you got to see The Witch. It's really
good. I did.
I just looked him up on IMDb.
Did you see The Lighthouse?
Not on his upcoming schedule.
So the Lighthouse was with the guy, the Twilight guy, right?
Robert Pattinson.
Right.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah.
And it's pretty much a story about two people who were stuck in a lighthouse for a season, and they obviously start to
you know what?
Get sick of each other.
Well, visually, it's jaw-dropping. Well, it's sort of. They're both so unlikable, and they're just assholes that you just want them both to die. But visually and the soundtrack are beautiful and haunting. But the characters are just awful. I mean, it's a tough watch.
The Green Goblin's in it.
You're better off.
Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, it's Willem Dafoe. Yeah, but they're both just like you can't. It sucks when you don't have a protagonist because you can't identify or side with either guy. They're just terrible. So
right, but I hear
my 2 cents.
I heard that there's some dark supernatural stuff that supposedly happens, and they start kind of fighting over. They start fighting
and there's
over
a lot of homoerotica too. Yeah,
but I hear there's like a mermaid that shows up, and they don't know if the mermaid's real or not, and it starts getting really bizarre.
Yeah, it's weird, and like I said, it would have been fine to be weird if you liked at least one of the two guys, but they're both awful. So
I'll have to see it. I saw a review on it, but I didn't see the movie. But I highly recommend seeing The Witch Brother. I think it's on Netflix actually right now.
It is. Yep.
And
I'll look it up.
And prepare yourself. It's a very you get sucked in. It's visually stunning, and the story just it's one of these movies where you actually start getting really, I don't know, it just brings you in.
Get invested.
What's that?
Yeah, I mean.
Invested.
Yeah, very invested.
He's a really good director. I just thought that the Lighthouse, the characters again were just a problem. So
he kind of reminds me of like a Quentin Tarantino of kind of like that horror genre where he's got that niche for it, and that style is just his own. You know what I mean?
Well, he gets light and shadow. I think that's what's great. I mean, shooting the Lighthouse in 4:3 black and white made it really. It felt old, and it felt, it felt like something you would have watched in the 1940s or something. He really shooting it in black and white. He played a lot with contrast and shadow, and I really liked that. The cinematography is just stunning. It's beautiful to watch. The problem is when you watch it on streaming, because streaming has such low bit rate. There's a lot of banding in this because everything's lit with candles and stuff. You get all the banding as the light falls off and stuff. So you're better off going to the red box and renting the Blu-ray.
Okay.
Because you can even see all the digital noise in the blacks and stuff because it's such a black contrasty movie, and the digital noise and the banding was driving me nuts. I watched it on Amazon, and it was pissing me off. That's why physical media rules, man.
It's true. I think you never know how good Blu-rays look until you think you're watching high quality on Netflix, and then you watch a Blu-ray and you're like, oh my god, like what am I paying for?
Yeah, they have to strip so much of the color space out to get it down the pipe. It's compressed to hell. That's you get a Blu-ray and the compression's at 50 megabits. You watch your stream, you're watching's at like 2, 4. So speaking of vampire movies, and next year Morbius is coming out through the MCU. Did you guys hear about this? Really?
Isn't Morbius a Marvel character?
Yeah, he fights Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a Spider-Man villain.
He's got his own movie.
Well, that's because Sony is right now. Spider-Man is off limits, so but they've got the rights to use every other Spider-Man character there is, and any of the ones that aren't disputed for the MCU are free game. That's why you got Venom in his own movie. That's why you're getting Morbius in his own movie. It's why you're getting Silver Sable and Black Cat in their own movies.
Right.
Right.
So Jared Leto. I'm sorry, Jared Leto is playing Morbius.
Yep.
That's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, the trailer's been out for quite a while for that. Again, it's one of these things. It's probably gonna it's dumb popcorn movie. That's what it looks like.
I wonder. That's an interesting choice to use that villain as a standalone film. But it is. What's that?
They're strip mining the mythos because they're looking around. What can we grab? Before we lose this license, if we lose this license. So they want to make money. I'm certain they'll be.
They want some movies and new money.
Yeah.
Well, they also do the Deadpool movies too, right?
No, that's Fox.
That's Fox.
No, that's the studio formerly known as Fox.
Oh, okay. God, it gets so confusing, man. I just like everybody has a piece of Marvel.
Well, that's because in the 90s, Marvel was this close to going under, and they started selling off the rights to all the different characters. And basically, Toy Biz kept them afloat for about a decade.
Action figure company?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? An action figure company kept them afloat?
Yep.
Avi Arad stepped in. Yeah.
No shit.
He was the president. Right? He became president of Marvel, didn't he, in the mid-90s?
Yes.
During the
Yep.
Yeah. And saved them from bankruptcy. What also saved them, though, was bringing in new talent, bringing in Joe Quesada, bringing in the Marvel Knights line, Daredevil, all those great late 90s titles that really reinvigorated the line. So, maybe, brought in fresh talent. Kevin Smith writing Daredevil.
Yeah.
For sure. So it kind of reinvigorated, brought new life into the line, which was desperately needed.
I thought Disney was gonna pretty much get their hands in that, but
well, eventually, if they don't buy it, the contracts will expire, or if there's a sale, if for some reason somebody buys Sony, then Disney gets rights all their characters back, lock, stock, and barrel.
Yeah.
Which, of course, there's been rumors of Sony being for sale forever. Disney certainly isn't going to buy them now.
Oh, I thought there was something in the news
Disney
about that too.
Disney can't afford to pay for half a Marvel movie right now.
Yeah, they are so hurting for cash. It isn't funny.
Do you see that Disney Plus? They announced their results of they only made like $50 million off the subscriptions to Disney Plus.
Ouch!
Like that's like 1/4 the budget of a big Marvel movie. They're hurting, man. They're in big trouble. And even if they keep their parks open, their parks are only getting 20% capacity, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They're hemorrhaging. This is what they get for buying the universe. They're going to have to sell it back.
And we're still waiting for a big Star Wars announcement. But Comic-Con's got a few more days left. We're still waiting on that on a big official Star Wars announcement.
So
rumors.
Well, the guy who dropped it, what's his name? I always forget his name. Doomcock. He's not saying what his source is, but he's saying that pretty much Lucas is stepping in and saying, this is not how I envisioned it, and you basically screwed it up, so you're out. And I think this is also probably has a lot to do with The Mandalorian being so popular that, Kathleen Kennedy, obviously, she screwed it up and it rebounded in someone else's court. And something that is how much, as far as budget difference, became so much more successful than three huge blockbuster, high budgeted movies.
Well, it just shows you you could throw as much money as you want at something if you've got garbage characters, garbage story, and you know, incompetent. Right. I don't care how much money you spend. You know, crap is crap.
Brother, you saw The Mandalorian?
I only saw the first 3 episodes. I loved them though. I can't wait to finish it. I was wondering if they're going to release it on Blu-ray because I don't have Disney Plus. I watched it over at a friend's house who has Disney Plus.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
But look, we just talked about how much money they're losing. They're going to pull out all the stops to earn money everywhere they can.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
In fact, people are thinking they might pull the original trilogy.
What's that? Keith?
And with like pulling out like the original theatrical versions or something.
I'm sure there's going to be something because they announced in a Variety today. They announced that there's going to be a new Star Wars movie debuting around the holidays every year, starting in 2023, then 2025 and 2027, respectively. We're going to have new Star Wars movies,
which were pushed. They were supposed to start that in about 1.5 years.
Right. Well, you can understand because, you know, the apocalypse.
There's an apocalypse?
Well, COVID, which YouTube won't let us say.
Well, I hope that John Favreau.
What's that?
I think what we're going to see. I think we're going to see Lucas take over. Favreau will handle the Disney Plus stuff, and Kevin Feige will handle the theatrical stuff.
Exactly.
That's my prediction. That's my prediction.
And then what is she? Where does she go now? What is she? What kind of
Bad Robot?
Oh, that's right. She's going to Bad Robot. You did say that.
Yeah,
right.
they deserve each other.
So they can, her and JJ can do some kind of.
By the way, Pete.
No.
When you said that the other night, recording our show, that became the title of this week's episode. They deserve each other. Yeah.
Our episode drops tomorrow, so anybody listening to us now, anybody listening to us now will have it won't be a surprise when we announce the very super secret special news.
Right, exactly. Which and I'm gonna have to bail in a minute because it's my daughter's birthday. But
we're almost an hour anyway, and I was gonna back out after an hour. So
well, make sure you hit all the good headlines. These are archived, so I put on our YouTube channel. I put the video stream from last night, and on our audio podcast feed was the audio feed from last night, and I'll do it with this one too. So they'll always be available. We actually got a lot more viewers after we signed off.
Really?
Don't tell me why we had 20 views within the first hour after we ended our stream last night.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, these were only supposed to go we're only supposed to. Last night we went 2 hours, didn't we? 2.5 hours.
These can go as long as we want. Friday Night Tights goes 6 hours sometimes.
I'm thinking right now we can do an hour because tomorrow, how many people we're gonna have tomorrow? You think? Unless you want to come on, brother, still again.
Everybody's welcome.
Sure.
The news is going to get better after starting tomorrow. There's going to be much bigger news announcements and things like that. So
there's not much going on. I've been skimming the headlines. It's like AMC is postponing their opening again.
I saw that
is debuting in theaters and streaming video at the same time.
Yeah.
There's a new G.I. Joe game coming out, Jude. I sent you that the link over text.
Yeah, I saw that
coming out.
What about the biggest news of the day? That Flashpoint will not be exactly the same as the comic book. Have we had any movie adaptations that are exactly the same as the comic book? No. How is that news?
I know.
That's not news.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured that once they said that Michael Keaton was going to be Bruce Wayne, and therefore it's not going to be the Flashpoint story. Duh.
How about my big Flashpoint story would be Ezra Miller sucks as the Flash. Yeah, that's my news. God.
The boys,
they ruined the character completely for me. He's a freaking CSI, and he's just a stupid asshole in the Justice League. So
that's one of the worst movies I've ever seen. I wish I could get those 2 hours back of my life.
Oh, wasn't it bad?
I didn't see it because I heard bad things about it.
It's bad.
Bad. Oh, it's. I went to the movie theaters to see it, and I wish I hadn't. There was like 10 people in the movie theater. They all knew it sucked, and we were just kind of looking at each other, going, "Yeah, it's worse than we thought."
Well, it's kind of the same reason I went to see Rise of Skywalker. You know the car crash is coming, but you have to see it.
Yeah. You gotta be in the driver's seat. Yeah.
So, Jason, let me ask you: are you curious about the Zack Snyder cut of that, though?
Not even a little bit. Not even remotely.
Okay.
It was so horrible that I mean, what could the cut give you? That, and what kind of quality could the cut bring to it that would make it worthwhile watching? You know.
All I did hear was that apparently he had a plan for Superman that he never got to finish, and that Superman was going to go he was going to end up like the Christopher Reeve Superman by the end. So for Man of Steel 2, we'd have a happy Superman instead of that whiny, brooding Superman. But other than that, I don't know, because Joss Whedon kind of did that to him anyway so
it's true.
But I am curious. I just want to see the difference.
How much material exists in the cut? Do you know?
I think
apparently it's enough to make it 3 hours long.
And I think they reshot stuff, didn't they? They
reshot like 40% of it. Yeah.
Well, when they hired Joss Whedon, they reshot about 40% of the movie.
Yeah.
So
I mean, could the cut redeem the movie? That's the thing. I mean, could it redeem such a horrible villain as Steppenwolf? I mean, that was just.
Oh my God.
Everybody thought it should have been Darkseid, but.
Well, Darkseid will be in the Zack Snyder cut. That was another thing.
Really?
Remember, originally it was announced as 2 movies. Originally, Justice League Part 1 and Part 2, and apparently at the end of Part 1, they were going to introduce Darkseid for Part 2.
That's right.
Oh.
So I wonder, he's probably going to put it back to that and hope that it's successful enough that either HBO Max will give him the money to make the second one, or Warner will say, "Hey, man, you know what? We were wrong. You were right. Finish it."
No, it's going to be one and self-contained. So he's going to try to combine the best he can. It's not going to be so much the Snyder cut of what we got. It's going to be the Snyder cut of what exists.
Right.
So Darkseid is going to be in it, but I guess it's not going to go completely into the whole like scorched earth and all that other stuff that was in it the first time. It's basically, if it was shot, that's what he's going to use.
Right. All right, guys, I gotta get going because my daughter only has about a half an hour because they're going to dinner. So
I think we should wrap it up. I mean, I don't think do we have any more topics to cover, Pete, or do you want to wait tomorrow?
Well, I will just say this, and you guys can sort out the ending. Hail to the fandom, my fellow pizza toppings. I will see you tomorrow.
All right, tell your daughter happy birthday.
I will. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, there weren't a whole lot of